If you're using the same video to create awareness and close sales, you're wasting time and money. Let me show you what to do instead. Let's start with talking about the sales cycle. The sales cycle is the journey the customer takes from not knowing you exist to becoming a loyal buyer. Each step of the journey requires a very specific kind of video content to convert for the particular outcome we want. So let's start with awareness. Here is where you let them know that you exist. When people become aware they have a problem or desire, this content is designed to help them find you as the solution to their problem or desire. The best kind of videos for this step on the sales cycle are going to be short social media videos, brand story videos, emotional or aspirational storytelling, entertainment content like Reels, TikToks, etc., and top of the funnel YouTube content that is broad. This is not a place for hard sell. It's a place to be seen and remembered. Interest. The goal here is to keep their attention and spark even more curiosity. At this point of the sales cycle, they are intrigued and they want to learn more about what you offer. They browse your website, they look at your YouTube channels, maybe they subscribe to the channels and look at your other social media posts. The best form of content here are going to be educational explainer videos, behind the scenes or day in the life content, problem solution breakdowns, video vlogs, and thought leadership videos. Again, it's important to remember that here in this step, you're building relevance and trust. You're not closing the deal yet. Consideration. Show why you're the right choice. At this point of the sales cycle, customers are weighing the options. They're comparing you to the competition, and they're looking for signs or evidence that you can deliver. The best form of content here is going to be product walkthroughs, customer testimonials, which I absolutely love, FAQ videos, comparison videos, and how it works videos. This is a critical step because here is where trust is either built or lost forever. Intent. Help them make the final decision. In this part of the sales cycle, they're very close to buying. They just need a little nudge. And it usually is clarification, a promotion, or something that's just going to take them over the edge into becoming a customer. The best videos for this part of the sales cycle are going to be case studies or success stories, personalized sales videos, offers or promos, and retargeted ads with clear call to actions. When we create videos for this part of the sales cycle, we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to make it easy for the client to say yes. We want to focus on value, clarity, and throughout the video, we want to make sure that we reduce all the friction when it comes to buying. Purchase or sale. This is where you make the buying experience smooth. They're committing. This is the moment of transaction. This is what we wanted all along. But this is also the time. This is the time where the relationship starts, and we want to make this last as long as possible. So there's some very specific video content that we can make here in order for that to happen. Thank you videos. I remember a time that I leased a car, and for the business, and the car came with a DVD, and basically, you see how long ago this was. But the car came with a DVD, and it had a bunch of really cool things about the car. I got a letter thanking me for being part of the brand of the car that I leased, and it felt really special. I don't think I watched the whole thing, but it felt really nice. It felt like I was getting so much value out of it, and they did that after they got my commitment. So, and again, not only did I lease that car, but I also leased another car with them later. But the whole point is that thank you after, which at the time included a video DVD. Today, they'll probably just email me a link so I can watch online. But that went a long way. And that made me feel special as a customer. So thank you videos are very important. Welcome or onboarding content. Now, this is a little different than the thank you video, right? The thank you video is a thank you video. The onboarding is basically explaining what the steps are going to be. So let's say I am a homeowner and I decided to install these really fancy windows in my house. I never done that before. I don't know what the process is going to be. So it's if I get a video explaining to me what the process is, how long it usually takes, what I should expect as a customer, and what is expected of me. Should I put my dogs away? Should I not be here? You know what I mean? Like things like that. So that additional step is awesome for retention. So we're going to talk about it in a second, but um, that's part of this step here, because even before you go into the retention side, you're already showing them at at the moment of purchase that you're not only interested in their money, you're also interested in providing them with a valuable service. So this goes a long, long, long way. I cannot stress enough that the onboarding videos are very helpful, and will give you a good ROI going forward. Similar to the welcome and onboarding content, what to expect next videos are also important. So once they have the product or service and they're using it, what are the results they should expect, and in which timeframes? I talked about this before, but I used to be a personal trainer a long, long time ago, and usually people would ask me how long into I feel I get results. Right? Everybody wants the results. Nobody wants to do the work. They want the results. So, and they didn't hire me necessarily because they like me. They hired because they wanted to get results. So, what am I getting? What I'm paying for? It was at the time, I was a personal trainer. This is years ago, so there wasn't as much video content. But it would have been really helpful for me to have a video saying, um, "Yes, so weeks 1 through 4, you're gonna feel like shit, and then weeks 4 to 8, you're going to feel better, and then in about 2 or 3 months, you're going to start looking better." So it goes from like feeling like shit to feeling good to feeling good and looking great. That kind of timeline that I used to have to set up verbally, talking to the client, can now be set up with video content, right? Because if you have a company that's working at scale, you may not necessarily want to be on the phone or having your sales force or your support um, staff talking to customers all the time, having this conversation with 1,000 people. So video content here will help with that. Setup or delivery walkthrough videos. I don't know about you, but I buy IKEA furniture from time to time, and sometimes you have to look at some videos to see how the thing goes, even though the instructions are great. IKEA instructions are very good, and they do a fantastic job because nothing is written. It's the same. If you live in Europe and you buy an IKEA piece, it's the same instructions as if you live in America. But the thing about the setup videos is that like not all setups are easy, and a lot of the times, especially if you're doing retail, if you're working products, um, having a video showing how to set up something is really, really important. In fact, I'll give an example. We have these these motion control systems here, and they are the best piece of equipment. It's very specific. We get wonderful shots with it when it works. And when it doesn't, it's the most frustrating piece of equipment that we own. The problem is that because it's so technical, it almost feels like you need um, you know, a degree in mechanical engineering just to use the thing. Because if the tension is too high, it doesn't move. But if it's too loose, then it moves too fast and messes the whole shot up. Anyways, long story short, it's not something that is easy to use. And there's a bunch of equipment that we purchased that kind of falls in the same category. Some equipment have incredibly long learning curves. So to mitigate that, you can create videos showcasing very specific details on how to use the equipment, right? How to set it up, how to take it out of the box without breaking it. What that does, as far as a return on investment for creating a video like that, is that, you know, if people can use the product and the product is good and they don't break it taken out of the box, that means that you can have less problems and you can have less returns. Returns have become more of a problem in lately because Amazon has such great return policies that people are abusing. So, and they're losing a lot of money because of that. So, mitigating that is also a way to get a return on investment for a client that you already have. Post purchase and retention. So, the goal here in this step is to keep them happy, engaged, give them support so that they can become repeat customers or even better fans. The best videos here are going to be tutorials or how-to videos, pro tips and tricks, customer spotlight content, follow-up testimonials, and referral program videos. By the way, this is the most overlooked part of the sales cycle. And it's very telling, by the way, if you really care about your customer and you really want to retain them. But most businesses ignore this part, and this is the most cost-effective, best ROI you can get right here in the step that most people ignore. Here's a little bonus: advocacy. I had to look up how to pronounce that word. I got to be honest with you. This is where loyal fans become brand advocates. And see, I told you I had a problem with that word. And they actually recruit other people for you because they're so in love with your brand or your service. The best video content here is going to be user-generated content, which is often referred to as UGC. Now, this is interesting because as a video production company, we wouldn't create UGCs. Your customers would. So if you do that, if you do all the other steps, all the things that we talked about, so if your video marketing gets you to this point, then you literally get free videos from the people who love you. Going back to the videos that we can create, community highlights, branded challenges or contests, and finally, client interviews or co-creation content. So those are the types of video content you can create for each of the steps of the sales cycles, plus the bonus I can't pronounce. But if you want to learn more about how to create video content that actually converts, you got to watch this video next.